Welcome to Space Fact Fusion. They walk among us, a hidden world revealed. Have you ever felt like something was just off about the world, like a hidden hand pulling the strings from behind the curtain? What if I told you that our world leaders, the very people we entrust with power, might not be entirely human? This isn't science fiction, it's the chilling reality proposed by the Reptilian Elite theory. For decades, whispers of reptilian beings disguised as humans infiltrating our governments and institutions have circulated in the shadows. These are not your friendly neighborhood lizards. These beings, often described as cold-blooded and power-hungry, are believed to be manipulating world events for their own sinister purposes. The man who brought this theory into the spotlight is none other than David Icke, a former sports broadcaster turned controversial author and speaker. Icke's claims, though often met with skepticism and ridicule, have resonated with a surprisingly large audience, sparking a global conversation about the true nature of power and control. But where did this outlandish theory originate? To understand the Reptilian Elite, we must journey back in time to the ancient civilizations and their cryptic tales of serpentine gods and otherworldly beings. The roots of the Reptilian Elite theory run deep, intertwining with ancient myths and legends passed down through generations. From the serpent in the Garden of Eden to the ancient Sumerian tales of the Anunnaki, reptilian beings have long held a place in human storytelling, often depicted as powerful, cunning, and even malevolent entities. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence, according to proponents of this theory, lies within the ancient Sumerian civilization. Their intricate cuneiform tablets speak of the Anunnaki, a race of powerful deities who descended from the heavens to rule over humanity. Some interpretations of these texts suggest that the Anunnaki were reptilian in nature, further fueling the belief in an ancient reptilian lineage influencing human affairs. David Icke, in his groundbreaking 1999 book The Biggest Secret, drew heavily upon these ancient texts and myths, weaving together a narrative that connected these seemingly disparate threads into a cohesive, albeit shocking, tapestry. He argued that the Anunnaki were not gods, but rather advanced reptilian beings who interbred with humans, creating a hybrid bloodline that went on to seize control of human society. These reptilian hybrids, Icke claimed, are the puppet masters behind the world's most powerful institutions, manipulating global events to maintain their grip on power and keep humanity enslaved in a web of ignorance and control. But what exactly are these alleged reptilian overlords capable of? The Reptilian Elite theory doesn't simply claim that lizard people are among us. It paints a picture of a highly organized and cunning enemy operating in the shadows. These beings are said to possess extraordinary abilities, allowing them to move undetected through the corridors of power and maintain their control over humanity. One of the most unsettling claims is that these reptilian beings are masters of disguise, capable of shape-shifting into human form at will. This ability, according to Icke and his followers, allows them to walk among us unnoticed, pulling the strings of society from within. They are said to occupy the highest positions of power in governments, financial institutions, and media organizations, effectively controlling the flow of information and shaping the world according to their own agenda. But what is their ultimate goal? According to the theory, the reptilian elite seek to suppress human consciousness, keeping us trapped in a state of fear and subservience. They are believed to feed off negative energy, thriving on conflict, suffering, and chaos. This, proponents argue, explains why wars, poverty, and injustice continue to plague our world. The theory points to certain bloodlines, such as the British royal family and certain US presidents, as being key players in this reptilian conspiracy. These individuals, it is claimed, are not merely powerful figures but rather direct descendants of the Anunnaki, carrying the reptilian bloodline and continuing their ancestors' legacy of manipulation and control. A global awakening. The truth seeks the light. Despite its seemingly outlandish premise, the Reptilian Elite theory has garnered a surprisingly large following worldwide. What started as a fringe idea has infiltrated mainstream consciousness, sparking debates, inspiring documentaries, and even influencing popular culture. The internet, with its ability to connect like-minded individuals across geographical boundaries, has played a significant role in the theory's proliferation. Online forums, social media groups, and dedicated websites have become virtual meeting places for believers to share their experiences, analyze evidence, and discuss the latest developments in the fight against reptilian control. This online community, often fueled by a deep distrust of authority and a desire for alternative explanations for the world's problems, has become a breeding ground for conspiracy theories of all kinds, with the reptilian elite theory often taking center stage. The anonymity and reach of the internet have emboldened believers, allowing them to connect with others who share their worldview and spread their message far and wide. But what is it about this theory in particular that resonates so deeply with people? Perhaps it's the allure of a hidden truth, the idea that things are not as they seem. Or maybe it's the comfort of having a scapegoat, a way to explain the complexities and injustices of the world through a simple, albeit unsettling narrative. Doubts and disbelief, navigating the fog of deception. As with any conspiracy theory, the reptilian elite theory has faced its fair share of criticism and skepticism. Critics, often from the scientific and academic communities, dismiss the theory as baseless and lacking in empirical evidence. They point to the lack of any tangible proof of shape-shifting reptilians or their alleged influence on world events. The theory's reliance on ancient myths and interpretations of historical texts is also often cited as a weakness. Critics argue that these texts are open to interpretation and that drawing definitive conclusions about the existence of reptilian overlords from them is a stretch to say the least. Furthermore, the theory's reliance on anecdotal evidence, such as personal accounts of encountering reptilian beings or witnessing their shape-shifting abilities, is seen as unreliable and subjective. Critics argue that these experiences can be explained by psychological phenomena such as pareidolia, seeing patterns in random data, or confirmation bias, favoring information that confirms existing beliefs. The scientific community, for the most part, remains unconvinced. They argue that the theory lacks any basis in reality and that there is no scientific evidence to support the existence of shape-shifting reptilians or their alleged control over human society. Between fact and fiction, deciphering the reptilian code. Despite the lack of scientific evidence and the criticism from mainstream sources, the reptilian elite theory continues to captivate the imaginations of many. The theory's enduring appeal, some argue, lies in its ability to tap into deeper anxieties about power, control, and the nature of reality itself. In an increasingly complex and uncertain world where trust in institutions is eroding and political polarization is on the rise, it's perhaps unsurprising that people are drawn to alternative explanations for the way things are. The reptilian elite theory, with its narrative of a hidden enemy pulling the strings from behind the scenes, offers a simple, albeit unsettling answer to the question of why the world seems so messed up. Some proponents of the theory argue that it should not be taken literally, but rather interpreted as a metaphor for the corrupting influence of power. The reptilian beings, in this view, represent the darker aspects of human nature: greed, lust for power, and a disregard for others. However, it's important to acknowledge that the reptilian elite theory has also been accused of promoting harmful stereotypes and conspiracy theories. Some critics have pointed out that the theory's depiction of reptilian beings as inherently evil and manipulative plays into anti-Semitic tropes, particularly the age-old conspiracy theory of a shadowy cabal controlling the world. Join the conversation. The future of truth is in our hands. The reptilian elite theory, whether viewed as a literal truth, a symbolic representation of societal ills, has sparked a global conversation about power, hidden agendas, and our reality. In an age of disinformation and eroding trust, it's crucial to engage in critical thinking, question narratives, and seek diverse perspectives. Reality is often stranger than fiction, and the truth is out there, waiting to be discovered. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking content.